Hey, Brooke. How's Kyle doing after what happened? Is he coping? He's not down in the dumps or anything, is he? Is he eating right? Does he have enough books? You know how much he loves his reading.
He's fine. Chill. It's been a week since the accident now. Of course he has a lot of free time on his hands in the hospital than he's used to. But I can assure you he's been using it wisely by grumbling and complaining to the max.
I see. Well, in that case, I'm pleased. If he's still lively enough to be grumbling and complaining, there's nothing to worry about. I'll be coming to see him again in the next few days.
Okay, I'll pass on the message. I think it really counts to have your mom by your bedside at times like this. He appreciates your visits a lot.
Kyle appreciates me? Judging from the look on his face when I'm there, I get the feeling I'm annoying him simply by having the nerve to exist in his vicinity. Besides, he told me I'm a pain in his butt on more than one occasion.
Oh, you don't believe that bluster, do you? He's just trying to look tough because he doesn't want to admit how soothed and comforted he feels by having his mommy by his bedside. He said he's always thinking of you.
Well, it'd be great if that were true. You must have been pretty scared yourself, right, Brooke? This whole thing can't have been easy for you. I heard you were in the car when he crashed the car?
That's right. I was in the passenger seat when it happened. Kyle's the last person I thought would ever crash the car.
Even the safest drivers have accidents, and it's usually precisely because we don't think they'll happen that they do. It was his fault and no one else was involved, right? I can't say I'm pleased about my son being laid up in a hospital bed, but on the bright side, at least no one else got hurt. He only has himself to blame. We can't turn back the clock, but at least he can learn the valuable lessons that there are to be learned there.
Right, I totally agree. He said he's gonna be taking a break from driving for a little while once he gets out of the hospital.
How long did they say he'd be in for again? A month, right? Hopefully he has a long, hard think about his driving habits.
Oh, believe me, he's already been doing some soul searching. I don't think he's under any illusions over who was to blame. Oh yeah, I forgot. I wanted to thank you again. We really appreciate you sending the money for Kyle's hospital stay. His insurance didn't cover it, so we would have been in a really bad situation without your help.
Oh, don't be silly, I'm his mother. You can hardly afford to shell out that much yourself, could you? I know you said you've been struggling lately. It was nothing, really.
But it was so sudden. I think Kyle feels guilty, and he wants you to know how grateful he is.
Him crashing the car into a wall like that was pretty sudden as well. Besides, it's not like he did it on purpose. He has no reason to feel guilty. Sometimes life just throws curveballs at you, and what are mothers for if not dashing to the rescue and saving the day in a rush of heroic maternal glory?
Fair point. Thanks for saying that. I couldn't agree more with everything you just said. To tell you the truth, it's actually kind of a pain in the ass how easily little things like this seem to play on his mind.
Oh, it is? But Brooke, dear, surely it's only natural he'd be upset after what he did. He's always had a strong sense of responsibility, and he hates feeling like he's being a burden on others. I think it's perfectly normal.
But you just said he has no reason to feel guilty? I'm saying I agree with you. I keep telling him he has nothing to feel bad about. But he seems hell-bent on beating himself up over it. I can't help but to think he overthinks things sometimes. He's so goddamn sensitive. I actually felt a huge sense of relief when you just said what I've been thinking this whole time, so thanks for that.
Sure, he might overthink things at times, but still. Don't you think it's more complicated than that this time?
Huh? But you just said he shouldn't feel guilty. Wait, were you lying?
What? Lying? No, of course I wasn't. It's just, how to put this? Just because I don't think he should feel guilty about what happened doesn't mean I think he should be nonchalant and indifferent towards it either. If anything, I'm proud of him for being so considerate towards others.
Is there a problem with being nonchalant and indifferent when you've done nothing wrong? You're my mom-in-law, and that makes me your daughter. What's with this weird formality all of a sudden? Since when were you this stiff and reserved? You can speak your mind with me, you know.
I see. Well, I suppose if that's how you feel about it, then you do you, sweetie.
Right? I will. Okay then, it's settled. From now on, carefree is the word. Our days of fretting over trivialities are gonna be nothing but a distant memory.
Right. Got it. All right, well, Brooke, I have some shopping to do now, so I'll speak with you later. Take care.
Mom, please can you lend me some money? We're in the mother of all pinches here. You're the only person I can rely on.
Oh, Brooke, please, would you stop doing this? You asked me the exact same thing last week. I made it very clear that I wouldn't be giving you anything. Why do you insist on doing this?
I know I did, but Mom, we're really in a pinch here. Like really, really, really. Anyone would think I was a stranger, not your freaking daughter-in-law. Surely you should be more sympathetic towards our situation. Why you gotta be so heckin' frosty?
Listen to me, Brooke. If you're genuinely in trouble and need help, of course I want to be there for you.
Well, in that case, why won't you? You're contradicting yourself a little here, you know? How many times do I have to say it? We're genuinely in trouble. Our situation is desperate.
When you say genuinely in trouble, do you remember the previous reasons you gave me for saying you needed me to lend you money?
Yes, of course I do. We're struggling to stay afloat financially. Because vegetable prices have been going through the roof lately.
Right. And the month before that, it was because the gasoline prices had gone up. What was it the month before? I forgot. Oh, yes, the electricity bill was soaring, right?
I don't remember well either. But probably that. Everybody knows the cost of living has been going through the roof lately, and normal hardworking folks like us just can't get by as easily as we used to.
Probably that. Ugh, I see. Anyways, let's forget about that for a moment. What I wanted to ask you is, why don't you understand how unreasonable it is to come begging me for money every time your living expenses go up?
How is that unreasonable? You're right, I don't understand at all. We're your family, and we're in trouble. You're the one who said it was your job as Kyle's mom to dash to the rescue and save the day when life throws curveballs at us. Surely helping us at times like this is the decent, moral, and obvious thing to do?
It's not that I don't want to be there for you. The problem is that every time you ask for money, it's for the smallest, pettiest things. Think about it. If I have to come to the rescue every time your outgoings go up slightly, it'll never end. Kyle's got out of the hospital and went back to work months ago. It's not like you two are on one salary anymore. I never heard anything about either of you taking a pay cut either. Look, dear, I know we're in a cost of living crisis, but how can you suddenly be in the mother of all pinches just because cucumber prices went up? Surely, if you two do some brainstorming together, you can figure out a way to get through this somehow.
I'm asking you precisely because we can't cope without your help. Why won't you believe me? You're horrible. You lent us money without so much as a single complaint before. What changed?
I sent the money back then because my son had been in a car accident. That was an emergency. Surely you see the difference between a car crash and the things you're asking me to open my purse for every month these days?
I get that.
Look, I don't know exactly how much Kyle brings home every month. But you've never had any problems like this until recently, so I could ask you the same thing. What changed, Brooke? You'll be fine if you just tighten your belts a little. You know, like eating out less, canceling things like Peeps Flick subscriptions, making sure the lights are turned off, that kind of thing. This is hardly rocket science.
It must be nice to have the luxury of saying all these things from a position of complete financial security. Life isn't so easy for us mere mortals, you know. Yes, that's right, I know. You're sitting on a tiny little nest egg in that savings account of yours, aren't you?
I see. I take it you heard from Kyle?
He let it slip after he had a few beers the other night. I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to tell me. It's real nice to know how trusted I am in this family. Like, geez, thanks for sharing, Mom. Anyway, if you have so much money, what's the issue with lending us a few cents here and there to help us get by when times are tough? Why does it have to turn into this big drama? Just quit complaining and hand over your bank card already.
You do know that my savings and your household finances are completely unrelated, don't you? Just because I have money does not mean I'm obliged to give it to you. What kind of logic is that? Besides, if you're really in as much trouble as you say you are, why are you the only one who ever comes begging to me like this? If times are so tough, why haven't I heard so much as a word out of Kyle?
Duh, isn't it obvious? He's way too proud to admit we're struggling. How's he supposed to feel like the man of the house if he has to beg his mommy for pocket money?
In that case, you won't have any problem with me confirming all this with him directly, will you? You know that your finances are in such dire straits that you have to beg your mother-in-law for money several times a month?
Oh, come on. There's no need to do that, and you know it. That's just mean-spirited. Think about how it would make your son feel.
The bottom line here is that you need to learn to overcome life's challenges by yourselves. If you rely on others at the first sign of trouble, not only will you have no problem-solving ability of your own, but you'll be finished as soon as the support dries up. I have absolute faith in you both to get through this and to become stronger people for it. If you accept and understand all of the above, and you still say you're in desperate trouble, I'll be here for you.
But just because we're not at risk of being homeless this week doesn't mean we're not in trouble. Do we have to be on death's door before you start caring about us?
You know, all of this time you spend asking me for money could be spent figuring out how to improve your situation. Less talk, more action. First, do what you can. If after that you tell me you're still hopelessly in trouble, I'll consider helping you after discussing things with Kyle.
Fine, I understand. Sorry for being so persistent.
Don't worry about it. I'm grateful for your understanding. I understand things aren't easy for you right now. But you can't go through life relying on others all of the time. If you did, you really would end up in the mother of all pinches when no one was there to save you.
Hey Mom, guess what? I've been doing some thinking.
Brooke? What's this all of a sudden? Have you had some kind of religious epiphany? What have you been thinking about?
Remember how you scolded me before for asking for money? Well, you gave me pause for thought, and I've pondered long and hard on the matter. So anyway, I'll get right to it. I have a suggestion. Hear me out.
I hardly scolded you, dear. But it is important to consider other people's feelings and opinions, especially when they differ from your own, and the ability to do so is a sign of real maturity. The fact that you took the time to seriously think about what I said makes me very happy.
Cool, thanks for saying so.
Okay, well, I'm ready for it. The suspense is killing me. What's your suggestion?
So, you have a lot of savings, right? But you told me it was no good for me and Kyle to rely on your money unless in case of emergency, right?
That's right. We might be family, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't have boundaries, and relying on others all the time isn't good for anyone.
On the other hand, it seems like such a waste for you to keep all that money to yourself without putting it to good use.
Excuse me? Forgive me, Brooke. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you here, but by any chance has the subject changed?
Nope, we're still on the topic. Just bear with me. I'm building up. Where was I? Oh yeah, you said it yourself. It's no good to rely on others too much, right? That's why I think we should move in together.
What? I'm sorry, but I don't understand this at all. What on earth led you to that conclusion?
Think about it. If we move in with you and we all live together, we'd all be on the same team. You lending us money wouldn't count as us relying on others anymore.
It wouldn't?
That's right, it wouldn't. And actually, scratch lending. If we all lived under the same roof, there would be no our money or your money because we'd all be contributing to the same pot. Your money would become everyone's money. I can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. Let's do it. Let's live together.
Hold your horses, Brooke, please. Don't you see how absurd what you're suggesting here is? I don't understand your logic at all.
No, I can't and I won't. It's not happening. Why not? Surely living with us would give you more peace of mind, too. Ah, that's it. You're worried about the housework, aren't you?
No. Not wanting my son and daughter-in-law to move in with me has nothing to do with the housework. Do you have no inkling of how ridiculous what you're asking me to do is?
Relax. You don't need to worry at all. I won't interfere with you doing the housework one bit. I'll never get in your way. In fact, I bet you won't even know I'm there half the time.
I just told you that isn't the point. Hey, wait a sec. Are you saying you want to move in with me but don't intend to do any housework?
I am, but trust me, this makes sense. Think about it. Me and Kyle have only been married for a year, right? Which means I'm still learning the ropes as a housewife. There's still a lot of stuff I'm not sure about, and a lot of things that don't come naturally to me yet. You, on the other hand, are a veteran with decades of experience. Not only would it be rude of me to assume I could do even half as good a job as someone as skillful as you, but it'd also be way more efficient if you did it all for us.
Oh, good grief. Alright, you listen to me, Brooke, and I'm aware of how rude this will sound, but I just don't care anymore. I'm so disgusted with you, I struggle for words.
That's not important right now. What's important is that we move in with you ASAP and live together as one big happy family. So what do you say? We'll handle stuff like having our things sent over on our end. You moved house last month, right? I don't know your new address yet. Could you tell me it?
This conversation is pointless. There's no getting through to you. I take it Kyle is aware of this little scheme of yours. I'll discuss the matter with him directly.
What are you talking about? Kyle doesn't know anything about this.
Wait, what? Are you being serious? You're talking about moving house and your husband doesn't know?
Yep, that's right. To tell you the truth, the idea only just came to me and I got excited. I just had to pitch the idea to you straight away. But relax, it's fine. I'm certain Kyle's gonna be on board with it. He's smart after all.
Wow, Brooke, wow. Were you always like this? I don't even know how to respond. But I do know one thing. How arrogantly and selfishly you're behaving right now only strengthens my resolve not to let you move in with me. It is not happening.
What the hell? Your daughter-in-law's telling you she wants to move in with you here. Anyone else would be pleased.
I'm not so sure about that. Anyway, there's no point in carrying on this conversation if Kyle doesn't know about what you're doing. I'm going to go speak with him directly. I have nothing more to say to you.
God, you're so freaking annoying. How could you be so ungrateful? I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. Do you know how dangerous it is for an old hag like you to live all on her own? We're moving in with you, so hurry up and tell me your address.
Oh, today has been an unusual one. Who would have thought it's possible to be this disgusted with a single person so many times in one day? It's actually impressive.
Stop talking nonsense and accept my very kind offer already. You think I've got all day to be wasting on this stupid conversation? Some of us have jobs to work and finances to worry about, you know.
Calm down, Brooke. Deep breaths. In, out. You came at me like such a whirlwind I didn't get a chance to tell you this. But I already live with someone, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to take you up on your offer. You're better off just forgetting the whole thing.
Huh? You're already living with someone? You never told me that. Who is it? Since when? Why wouldn't you tell me something so important?
Isn't it obvious? Who would I live with other than my family? My second son and his wife, of course. You're right about me moving house last month, but it wasn't to be on my own. I moved in with the two of them. I wasn't lying when I said you couldn't move in with me, you know. What you're suggesting is literally impossible.
What the? No! How dare you be so selfish! Do you have any idea how much trouble this puts me and Kyle in? We need your savings! Undo it! Get out of their house and move in with us!
You can't be serious. I know you know that's not going to happen. I knew that was what you were after all along, by the way, but it's at least nice to hear you admit it. You'd stop at nothing to get your claws into my money, would you? As long as I know that behind every word that comes out of your mouth lies nothing but an insatiable desire for my money, I have no reason to talk to you. Not now, not next week, not ever. If that upsets you, I suggest you go off and cry into your pillow alone because there's nothing you can do to change my mind.
You just hold on a goddamn freaking minute! I'm not done speaking yet!
I'm terribly sorry, Brooke, but I'm busy. Me, my eldest son, and his wife are all going to a hot spring resort today. Gotta go. Bye.
A hot spring resort? Now? Right now of all times? You cannot be serious. Ugh! Mom! Are you there? Mom! Mom!
Brooke, you came to our house yesterday, didn't you? You broke the window and let yourself in, didn't you?
Huh? It'd be, really nice if you didn't make false accusations against me, you know. Thanks. I don't know anything about your house getting anything broken into.
It seems like I was wrong about you, Brooke. I thought you were a little more intelligent than this. I didn't think you had it in you to be this recklessly brash and impulsive.
Whatever. If we're honest, this is all your fault. You know that, right? Did you really think I was gonna let you get away with keeping the whole moving in with your son and his wife thing secret from me? If you'd have just kept your mouth shut and given me your bank card like anyone with half a brain would have done, you wouldn't be in this mess. Regret won't get you anywhere now. You dug your grave, now lie in it.
I couldn't agree more. It really was careless of me to tell you I moved in with my second son. I've been a fool.
Wow, you're self-aware? I suppose you'd be a total lost cause if you weren't capable of self-reflection at your ripe old age. Let's face it, you're not as young as you used to be. If you'd have waited any longer, you might have kicked the bucket without realizing what a gigantic moron you are.
You're right. Thanks for helping me notice, sweetie. You see, I'm so grateful that I want to give you a little something by way of thanks. So I got you a present.
Huh? A present? What is it? You should know that I don't accept cheap stuff.
It's fine, relax. It's even more valuable than my bank card. You know, the one you took from this house? In a certain sense, it's actually something really unusual.
Huh? What could you possibly be talking about? I can barely take the suspense. I don't know anything about your bank card either. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Oh, really? Is that so? How tragic. In that case, my present is meaningless.
Huh? Meaningless? How so? What's the present? Tell me.
You see, I spoke to the police about what happened yesterday. We have witness testimonies from the neighbors. Something tells me you might get a knock at the door from some men in uniform with a couple of questions to ask you very soon.
Wait, what? You spoke to the cops? Why would you do that?
What's the problem? You have nothing to worry about. It wasn't you after all. Sorry if you find it boring, but I thought it'd be perfect for you. The present is police questioning, just for you. Congrats, honey.
No, wait! You can't seriously be saying you reported me, your own daughter-in-law, to the police? I'm your son's wife!
You seem a little perturbed. Is everything okay? Surely you have no reason to panic like this. What's the problem? It wasn't you after all. I know you're probably busy, and having a bunch of stern-looking cops grilling you on the sofa might not have been how you envisioned yourself spending today. But you clearly had nothing to do with it, so I'm sure they'll be out of your hair before you know it.
I'm sorry. I lied.
I knew it. So it was you?
Yes. I was so mad about the whole moving in with your other son thing. I wanted to get back at you somehow. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I see. It's fine. Relax. You have nothing to worry about. I told you, right? This is a present.
How can I relax? I might be about to get arrested here. And how the hell does calling the cops on me count as a present?
It's a present because I am very kindly giving you an opportunity to reflect on what you've done and become a better human being. So why don't you have a long, hard think about your behavior and fix that rotten personality of yours? That's what me and Kyle want you to do. We both have high hopes for your rehabilitation. We'd be over the moon if you accepted it with some gratitude, because this is the last present you'll ever get from this old hag. After that, my shamed daughter-in-law was taken away in handcuffs by the police in front of a crowd of very shocked neighbors. I know I told her she was only going to be questioned, but that was because I didn't want to panic her so much she tried to escape. Between the witness testimonies from the neighbors, And the footage from the surveillance camera my son installed in the garage, she didn't have a leg to stand on, and her arrest was basically a foregone conclusion at the moment I reported her. My son Kyle divorced his criminal of a wife as soon as he found out what she'd done. I hope she uses this as an opportunity to reflect, but I'm not holding my breath. Me and Kyle are praying that she uses this whole situation as an opportunity to change her ways and become a better human being, even if just a little. That said, even if she does repent and change her ways, even if she becomes a shining bastion of all that is good and virtuous, we'll never know because she's no longer a part of our lives. She can get by on her own now.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey Nick, I'm sorry to bother you when you're working, but is there any chance you can come home right now?
What? Why? Is everything okay?
She's standing right in front of the house again.
Who's she?
The same lady who was looking into our house just last week. She's with her kid again, and she's been looking into the house for a long time.
What? Seriously? I thought I dealt with that woman already. Alicia, you didn't go out and talk to her by yourself, did you?
No, of course not. I'm not that reckless. And I have Lindsay with me too. I can't risk anything happening to us.
Good. You don't have to do anything. When I went to talk to her last week, she wasn't really making any sense. I don't even think she's sane, so I don't want you and Lindsay to go anywhere near her.
How am I supposed to go near her when she's right outside of our house? She's still there looking in. What should I do?
Don't do anything. I wrote down her contact info when I talked to her last week. I'll see if I can get a hold of her.
Is that safe? Why did you ask for her contact info anyways?
Well, I thought we might need it in case we decide to talk to the police. Anyways, I will deal with this. Make sure you guys stay safe inside the house.
Well, yeah, but if you have her contact info, shouldn't we talk to the police already? Since this is the second time?
I thought about that too. But we had to think about that kid she's with.
What do you mean?
When I talked to her last week, she told me that her daughter's the same age as Lindsay.
So? Why should that matter?
Think about it. That means her kid is only 2. I know that woman is creepy, but I can't bring myself to report a mother of a 2-year-old girl. It just doesn't feel right.
I know what you're saying, but we can't let her keep harassing us either.
Yeah, I know that. Let's give her one last chance. I'm going to talk to her again, but if she still comes back after this, we'll report her.
Okay. If that's what you want, I'll respect that. It does make me feel bad when I think about the fact that she has a daughter who's the same age as Lindsay.
Okay. I will see if I can get a hold of her right now. Either way, I will try to see if I can leave work early today.
Okay, thanks. But what should I do?
What do you mean?
Well, what if she comes back again? It's not like you can stay home every day to protect us. What if she tries to barge into our house while you're away?
I doubt she would try anything like that after I seriously warn her. But if you're so concerned, maybe you could go somewhere while I'm at work. Like, ask someone you can trust to take you guys in during the day. Would that make you feel safer?
Yeah, I guess. Who should I ask? Maybe your sister?
Catherine? But she's pretty busy with her own kid right now. This might be asking too much from her. You don't have any friends who don't have kids?
Well, there are a few. I'm sure someone would be able to take us in if I explain the situation.
Great. Why don't you do that then? I'll drive you guys there and back. We can try this and see how it goes. It's a bit inconvenient for you and your friend, but it's still better than anything happening to you and Lindsay.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Alicia. How are things at home? Has that lady come back at all?
No, I haven't seen her lately. But I wouldn't know if she comes back while we're at my friend's house, so that could be the reason.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, let's keep doing this for now, just to be safe. You think your friend is okay with that?
Yeah, she understands the situation. But I can't stay at her place forever. It's already been a week. I don't want to overstay my welcome.
Right. Well, I warned her that we'll call the police next time, so hopefully she got the message.
Yeah, I hope so. I know I asked you this already, but are you sure you don't know her from somewhere?
Of course not! I've never seen her before this. What about you?
Well, I've never seen her either. I wonder why she would bother us like this if neither of us know her. Did she say anything to you when you talked to her?
No, she doesn't say anything. But it was clear that she has a bit of an issue. I feel like she just does things for no reason.
But why our house? Why would you do that without any reason?
How would I know how a crazy person's mind works? But who knows? Maybe she's bothering other people too.
I'm sure I would hear about that from others if that was the case. But I've not heard anything from any of the neighbors so far.
I guess that's true. Well, I don't care as long as she stays away from us. It's just a waste of her time to try to figure out the reason behind her behavior.
Well, yeah, but do you really think this is over?
It better be over. I want to avoid reporting to the police. I don't want to feel like I'm the bad guy. It's not worth it for a crazy person.
I guess.
Oh, but you have to tell me if you happen to see her around again. I will deal with the situation then when we do call the police. She's not sane, so I don't even want you to try talking to her yourself.
Okay, I'll let you know if anything ever happens again. Hey, Alicia, do you have a minute? Oh, hi, Catherine. What's up? Is everything okay? I don't know how to put this, but I don't appreciate you constantly asking me to watch after your daughter. You've been hounding me nonstop every day for a week straight. I know we're family and all, but I think you still have to respect boundaries. Huh? What do you mean? Are you saying that I've been asking you to take care of our daughter at your place? I think you misunderstand something because I've never done that. What do you mean? Nick has been coming by and dropping Lindsay off at our place every morning. Don't act like you don't know anything. What? He has? Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. Why would I lie about something like this? And you are the one who's been lying, if anyone. You guys told me that you've been sick, but I know that you've been going out. I was doing this as a favor because Nick insisted, but don't you feel bad for your kid? I'm not lying about anything. I have no idea what you're talking about anyways. Lindsay is here with me. What? She's with you? Who is this kid then? Honestly, I have no idea. Nick hasn't told me anything. Seriously, whose kid is it? Stop messing with me. You're just joking, right? No, I really don't know what this is about. Did Nick say to you that she's our Lindsay? Of course. Like I said earlier, he's the one who's been bringing her here. And it's obvious when you look at her face. Her face? Last time you saw Lindsay was right after her birth, wasn't it? You recognize her even though it's been 2 years since then? Of course I recognize her. I can still see some trace of her from back then. And she looks just like her father. She looks like Nick? Yes, she reminds me of Nick a lot. Especially her eyes. They're the exact same colored eyes. I can definitely tell that she's Nick's daughter without a single doubt. She resembles him that much? Are you so sure of it? Yes, of all people I should know, I'm his sister. Either way, you only have one daughter, right? You're not going to tell me some crazy story like Lindsay actually has a twin sister or something? No, of course not. It's just her. And she looks more like me, not Nick. What? She does? Especially her eyes. Her eyes are blue, like mine. But if that girl's eyes remind you of Nick's, she must have green eyes. Yes, she does. So, you aren't joking then? No, she is definitely not my child. I can send you a picture of Lindsay if you don't believe me. Well, if that's the case, whose child is she? I have no clue. Could you send me some pictures of her? Sure, I can do that, but what are you going to do? I'll ask Nick what this is all about. I'm sure it's not going to be a pleasant conversation. Could you just not say anything to Nick just yet? He's coming to pick her up later, right? Yes, that's how it's been. Well, okay then. I'm sorry to have caused you so much trouble, but please bear with me on this. Hey Nick, are you done at work?
Yeah, moments ago. I'm just on my way home now.
Oh, good timing then. I have something I want to ask you about.
That came from out of nowhere. What is this about?
That kid you've been asking Catherine to take care of? Whose daughter is she?
Wait. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the kid you've been telling your sister is Lindsay. Catherine messaged me today about how she doesn't appreciate having to take care of our daughter for a week straight. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You can explain then, right?
Wait, don't get the wrong idea. It's nothing like that when you hear the whole story.
Just cut to the chase already.
She's my boss's daughter. He had some stuff going on and asked me to take her in for a bit.
Why didn't you just bring her here if that was the case?
Well, we had that peeping woman thing going on. I didn't think anything would happen, but I couldn't risk anything happening to my boss's kid.
Okay, I get that. But then, why did you need to lie about it to your sister then? And why did you not tell me? It's not something you need to hide, is it?
Well, no, but I thought... To me, she's my boss's child. But to my sister, she's still just a stranger. And I didn't think she would have agreed to take her on if I told her the truth. But I couldn't think of anyone else to turn to.
And that's why you lied. Even though you expected her to take care of this kid for a week? You didn't think that was too selfish?
Well, it was supposed to only be for a few days initially. But the timing didn't work out with the boss, and it just kept getting extended.
You could have come out and be honest about it then.
I guess I could have. But it was hard for me to admit that I was lying initially at that point. That's why I couldn't tell her the truth. I'm sorry.
What are you being sorry to me for? If anyone, you should apologize to your sister.
You are right. I will probably explain to her what happened and apologize.
And what are you planning on doing with that little girl now? If her parents still need her to stay somewhere else, we can take her in.
No, I think I need to put my foot down. I'll talk to my boss honestly, and tell him that I can't do this for him anymore.
Are you gonna be okay?
It doesn't matter. I shouldn't have agreed to do this lightly to begin with. I can't let you or Catherine deal with the consequences anymore.
Okay, if you say so. I just want to ask one last time, just to be sure. She really is the daughter of your boss, right? There are no more lies anymore?
Of course not. I know it's hard to believe anything I say right now, but it's the truth, I swear.
Okay. If that's the truth, I believe you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, I finished all I had to do at work today. Now I can finally focus on the weekend.
You deserve it, considering how a lot has happened this week. You must be extra exhausted this week.
Well, I know all the incidents that happened with Catherine. I brought that on myself. But I guess I also had to deal with that strange lady and all. She hasn't come back since, has she?
Nope, not that I know of.
Okay, good. I think we both deserve a relaxing weekend. I think I'll pour myself a nice cold beer when I come home. You'd have some too, right?
I think you should hold off on your beer. It's not polite when you have guests over.
Guests? What do you mean? Who are they?
Catherine and that strange lady.
Strange lady? Who?
That lady who kept peeping inside our house?
What? Why?
I think you, of all people, know the reason. Or do you need me to explain?
No, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're saying. Either way, you shouldn't let an insane person come into our house! What if something happens?
You shouldn't call her insane.
What do you mean? Did you forget that she was stalking us with her child next to her? If she's not insane, I don't know who is. You were scared of her too, remember?
You shouldn't talk about her like that. After all, isn't she your precious mistress and the mother of your other child? You should treat her with more respect.
Alicia, what are you talking about? Are you accusing me of having an affair? It's not the time for a bad joke. Especially one involving a kid.
I heard you guys broke up 2 years ago. Because Lindsay was born. But it turns out that she was also pregnant at the same time as me. Of course she would have a hard time forgiving you.
She said that? How could you believe in anything that a crazy person says? Of course she's lying!
She showed me the result of her daughter's paternity test. And she showed me her daughter's picture, too. I know your sister told me that she looked a lot like you, but now I know why.
Well, I think she faked it. The whole thing.
I don't think so. Even if that was the case, we would be able to tell if it was fake. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Alicia, I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
So you admit what you did then?
Well, yeah, but I really ended everything with her 2 years ago. I didn't even know that she was pregnant. I know that having an affair was very stupid of me. But I really changed my heart when Lindsay was born.
Then why did she have to come out and do this now? Pulling your sister into this mess? Why did you agree to take care of her daughter anyways?
I didn't have any choice. She threatened that she would tell you everything if I didn't cooperate. Then she started asking for financial support. And she asked me to take care of her daughter as well. Either way, she's insane!
And you thought that it's a good idea to ask Catherine to take care of that child. The child you had with your ex-mistress? I think you lack a sense of morals.
But it's all her fault! I didn't want to do that either, but she left me with no choice. I tried to turn her down one time, and that's when she started bothering us by standing outside our window. What was I supposed to do?
So what? Are you trying to tell me that you're the victim here?
I'm not trying to tell you anything. I'm saying I am a victim. She threatened to tell you everything if I didn't listen to her. I couldn't help it.
Isn't this all happening because you cheated to begin with? Don't you feel bad about that at all?
I wouldn't have cheated with her if I'd known how troublesome she is.
I think what really needs to be said right now is, I wouldn't have married you if I had known how much of an asshole you are. I can't believe I have to go through the trouble of a divorce.
What? What are you saying? You can't divorce me! You don't mean that! Do you know just how much you guys mean to me right now?
Well, you should have realized that before you cheated on me. Then, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. But either way, I'm sure with you being an insane, crazy person and all, I would have divorced you sooner or later. After that, Nick came home and he, Catherine, and even his ex-mistress and I all talked. As a result, Nick and I decided to get a divorce. Even though his affair was already over 2 years ago, apparently my lawyer thought that I could get a larger divorce settlement, so I decided to ask for more alimony as well. Because it wasn't simply just an affair, and he also had a child with his mistress, I was able to receive a pretty big settlement amount. I did hesitate a bit to ask for so much alimony, considering he has to support his other child and mistress as well. But he did have an affair and lied to me about it, so I guess I shouldn't feel too bad. I became a single mother because of this. But it's so worth it to have the guy who cheated on me and got his mistress pregnant gone from my daughter's life.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.